This episode was never meant to see the light of day. That's not clickbait. That's not an exaggeration. What I'm about to share with you today has been actively suppressed by Cartoon Network for over 15 years. Why am I risking my channel to tell you this story? Because some truths demand to be spoken, no matter the consequences. Have you ever felt watched while watching your favorite childhood cartoons? After learning about Mandy is Watching, you might never see animation the same way again. It started as whispers in the darkest corners of the internet, a thread on 4chan in late 2007, a buried Reddit post that would mysteriously disappear hours after gaining traction, forum discussions between alleged former Cartoon Network employees speaking in vague terms about the episode that broke people. If you're unfamiliar with The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, it was a popular animated series that ran from 2001 to 2007 on Cartoon Network. The show centered around two children who befriended the Grim Reaper after defeating him in a game. But there was reportedly one episode that never officially aired, one that only a handful of people have allegedly seen. The first substantial mention appeared on an animation forum in 2008, where a user claiming to be a former intern at Cartoon Network described witnessing something called Mandy is Watching during their time at the studio. The post was quickly deleted, but not before others had saved screenshots. Soon, similar accounts began surfacing across platforms like 4chan, Reddit, and various animation forums. The stories were consistently disturbing, yet specific details varied enough to suggest these weren't simply copied tales. According to the most consistent accounts, Mandy is Watching began normally enough with the standard title sequence, but something was immediately off. The usual vibrant colors appeared desaturated. The theme song played at about 75% of its normal speed. And most disturbing of all, the laughter that typically accompanied the opening was absent, replaced by what one viewer described as the sound of an empty room. The episode proper opened with a standard establishing shot of Billy and Mandy's neighborhood. But unlike the usual 5-second transition, this shot allegedly held for nearly 45 seconds. No music, no sound effects, just silence. When the scene finally cut to Billy's living room, both Billy and Grim were shown sitting on the couch. Their movements were described as unnaturally slow, as if they were moving through molasses. Their expressions weren't the typical exaggerated animations fans were accustomed to, but rather subdued, almost defeated. Most accounts agree on what happened next. The camera slowly panned to reveal Mandy standing in the corner of the room. Unlike Billy and Grim, she remained completely motionless. Her trademark scowl was absent, replaced by a blank, emotionless stare directed straight at the camera. For 2 full minutes, an eternity in animation time, Mandy simply stared. She didn't blink. She didn't move. She just watched. Billy and Grim never acknowledged her presence. They continued their sluggish movements, occasionally speaking to each other, though viewers report their dialogue was muffled and incomprehensible, as if heard underwater. The technical anomalies were reportedly just as unsettling as the content itself. Multiple sources described hearing what sounded like human breathing during Mandy's prolonged stare, not as a sound effect within the show, but as if someone was standing directly behind the viewer. The animation itself reportedly contained subtle glitches. Mandy's pupils would occasionally dilate slightly, then return to normal. The background elements would shift positions between frames, but only when viewed frame by frame. Perhaps most chilling were the reports of what happened at exactly 3:42 into the episode. If paused at precisely this moment, Several viewers claimed Mandy's face would be replaced by a single frame containing text. The alleged message varied between accounts, but the most commonly reported version read, "I see you when you sleep." Around the 4-minute mark, the screen reportedly began to flicker, as if the broadcast was experiencing interference. Each flicker lasted only a fraction of a second, but some viewers claimed that during these moments, Mandy's position would change slightly, moving her incrementally closer to the screen. So, who actually saw this nightmarish creation? According to internet lore, the episode was only viewed by a small group of Cartoon Network employees, including several animators who reportedly quit shortly after working on it. One alleged animator, posting anonymously, claimed, "We weren't making a cartoon anymore. We were opening a door that shouldn't be opened." Theories about the episode's meaning have ranged from the mundane to the metaphysical. Some suggest it was simply an artistic experiment, a meta-commentary on the passive nature of television viewing, turning the watcher into the watched. Others proposed darker interpretations. One popular theory suggested Mandy, always the most aware character in the show, had somehow broken the fourth wall on a deeper level, gaining awareness not just of her fictional nature, but of the real world beyond the screen. The most unsettling theory, however, came from a now-deleted blog allegedly written by a former sound engineer for the show. They claimed the episode wasn't created intentionally at all, but rather manifested itself during a late-night rendering session when no one was present in the studio. Why haven't you seen this episode in any official release? Why isn't it available on any streaming platform or DVD collection? According to those who've followed this mystery for years, Cartoon Network has gone to extraordinary lengths to bury all evidence of Mandy is watching. The episode never appeared in any official episode listing. Digital files were reportedly purged from servers. Employees who asked questions were allegedly made to sign additional NDAs. The only reason we know about it at all is due to what some believe was an unauthorized VHS recording made during the episode's single test screening. This tape supposedly changed hands multiple times in the early internet era, before disappearing completely around 2010. A Cartoon Network representative, when questioned about the episode in 2012, simply stated, "We have no record of any unaired episodes from that series." When pressed specifically about Mandy is watching, the representative reportedly ended the interview immediately. Former show creator Maxwell Atoms has never directly addressed the rumors, though some fans have interpreted his occasional cryptic social media posts as veiled references. In 2015, he tweeted, "Some characters never stop watching, even when their shows end." When fans asked if this referred to the legendary lost episode, he never responded. What are we to make of Mandy is watching? Was it an artistic experiment gone wrong? A twisted joke by disgruntled animators? Or something more sinister? Perhaps the most disturbing theory suggests that Mandy, always portrayed as potentially evil, potentially all-knowing, somehow transcended her fictional constraints. The blank stare wasn't directed at the characters, or even at the viewers, but at something beyond all of us. As one anonymous post chillingly put it, if she watched us, who's watching her? We may never know the full truth about this legendary lost episode. Perhaps that's for the best. Some doors, once opened, can never truly be closed again. But the next time you're watching your favorite childhood cartoons late at night, and you get that strange feeling of being observed, just remember, Mandy is still watching, and now so are you.